Hey. So what's going on? You gonna come up? Come right up here. Come here. Come here, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on up. Come see me. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Why don't you get on the chair? It won't happen. It won't happen. You just want scratchings and that's it. Is that good? Are those good scratchings? Then you have to smell my fingers. What if I... Oh, look at it's us. I tricked you. Why is she so camera shy? It's insane. Come on. You like it. Maybe you come back later, huh? Nice girl. Hi. Welcome back to the 31 Days of King Juggernaut. I'm Karen Stever. And every single day, I'm jumping on camera to talk to you about a character from the book that I am releasing on Halloween. King Juggernaut, New York City. It's the first of 7 books. So this one's in New York City, the next one's in Berlin, and so on. Different countries in the world. Be fun. I hope that you will come on that journey with me. So today's puzzle piece that I'm releasing a puzzle piece every day so that you can see the cover of the book on Halloween, is the squirrel. And it's from a chapter in the book called The Squirrel and the Cuckoo Clock. And I will start to read from that chapter from page 153. It's a 411 page book, by the way, a bit of a beast. You guys probably got sick of hearing me saying it's releasing soon, it's releasing soon. It really is. I'm not writing anymore on it, that's for sure. So I'll start with, your parents have informed me. That's where my notes say. So just to set the stage a bit, this is Ella who, I have Ella's body around here somewhere. That sounds creepy. I have dead bodies. I have Ella's body in the playground somewhere. I think I might even be talking about Ella later, so I'll show you her then. But she is Ian's cello instructor. She says, "Your parents have informed me you have a cuckoo clock." Ian looked up and around. He hadn't had time to investigate the clock. She spotted it on the wall near the closet. "Your father said he got it working, and so you can watch it. I have my own stopwatch, but just so you understand that when the bird pops out, we are finished." Oh, I got bat's hair in my mouth again. "I am not going to stick around and teach you anything past that point. Now, why do you not have your instruments set up? I was kind enough to give you ample time that you didn't even deserve. Now you're wasting more of my time." She sounds like a pleasant person. Ian couldn't take his eyes off the clock. He either didn't notice it before, or it was just so dusty that it blended in. It resembled a birdhouse and was ornate, clearly made by someone with craftsmanship. It had a dark stain and some pine cones hanging from chains. The part that he was most interested in was the door at the top. Doors were always exciting because there was almost always something behind them. Any world looked more interesting than his. "Pay attention, boy," she barked. "You don't need to watch it the whole time. It will come out to alert you. That's the point." Just past her, the squirrel popped up out of the window. This is how the trouble started last time when the mice distracted him. But he felt less alone and was thankful for the added company. Being alone with Ella felt like being reeled in on a silk line and trapped inside a cocoon. His whole room became a web, and he didn't know which parts were sticky. Ian noticed the squirrel had toast in his mouth and was nibbling away. It didn't take long before he saw some terrible parts of its history, though. In this case, he saw an old man drowning squirrels in a barrel of water, and they were fighting and scratching to get away. Ian fell to his knees, covered both of his ears, and laid his forehead on the floor. "Now stop that, I say," Ella said as she grabbed his arm and pulled him up. "You're such an odd little boy. After meeting you, I want to fall to my knees and cover my head too. We aren't meant to be friends. We have a specific job to accomplish here. You must be prepared to play in front of some very important people in the coming months, and we have very little time to prepare you. When I come here, I expect to see your instrument out of the case and set up. Why your parents don't insist on this is beyond me. Today it doesn't matter though. I've brought you a new one." Ian looked up and over at his cello. "Now don't get so excited. I did not purchase it. Mayor Conan did. I am not so charitable. Doesn't she sound lovely? I had a piano instructor who had a long nose, and her name was Mrs. Pinkerton. And I kind of felt like Ella was a little bit like her. It used to be when you took music instruction that the teachers were just brutal, like beyond brutal. And Miss Ella is a brutal instructor, especially back in 1939. You can imagine just her disdain for children to begin with. She must be paid well, right? But the whole idea of the squirrel being the distraction there is directly from my farm. So I lived in a very old farmhouse. It was about 200 years old. It had like 20 rooms in it and all sorts of little nooks and crannies and little, you know, secret doors and all sorts of things. I didn't really hang out with city kids. I hung out with my imagination, can you tell? And so there was a closet on my grandmother's side of the house. Oh, my grandma lived on one half and we lived on the other. And so there was a closet upstairs. It reeked of mothballs. Like just, it was just so bad. There was hat boxes and 100-year-old potpourri, like that, just layers and layers of mold, mildews, and dusts. Maybe that's why I'm not well. And yeah, so we also had a lot of cats on the farm, and so therefore, I should say we had a lot of mice on the farm, therefore we got a lot of cats. We had a lot of stray cats that would come in. But we had these black and gray squirrels that were everywhere because we had walnut trees. So of course that attracts the squirrels. And every time I was in that closet, there was this little gray squirrel with a white belly, you know, got the belly kind of pressed up against the window. And he was a good little buddy. You know, he was always had like a big walnut in his hand. And yeah, he was a peeping Tom. He was always checking us out in the window. So that's kind of where my idea for the squirrel came from. It's always just like that little distraction of just whatever's going on in here, there's something kind of cool out there. So that's the squirrel and the cuckoo clock. Also the cuckoo clock itself from that chapter, I'll talk a little bit about that because that's kind of fun. So when I was a kid, growing up in church, we had a man, his name was Bill, and Bill was the candy man. He gave us all candy, and he not only was a really great artist, and he actually did a portrait of me. Gosh, I wonder where that thing is. It's somewhere in my house. I don't put it out because it's just weird to put a portrait of yourself out. But he drew a portrait and painted it, and it won first place in an art fair. He was really, really good. But anyway, what I was going to say about him was he was so talented in so many ways, and he really inspired us as children. I even wrote a song for him called Candyman after he died of cancer. And but he made cuckoo clocks, and I'm not talking like just like a box on the wall. This had like the pine cones with the chains going up, and a little bird would pop out. And I remember being at his house and seeing these cuckoo clocks, and they were just really fantastic. And I just felt like there was a whole world like behind that little bird that popped out of the clock. Like, and I wondered how I could get in there. And so I put one in Ian's room. So that's the squirrel and the cuckoo clock. So I do sign these books. I hope that you will order one. They are for pre-sale right now, for pre-order right now on my store, on the store page. I will sign them to you. I will ship them anywhere in the world. And if you want to buy an extra one for your library or for a friend, by all means do it. I'm an indie artist. I'm an indie writer, so would really appreciate that. And plus, I love the idea of this message of hope and leadership getting out into the masses right now because we really need it. And I believe the animals and the children are going to reset our balance. Firm believer in that. I hope that you have a great night. Happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends today. And don't fill your bellies too much. And I will chat with you again tomorrow, okay? Have a great night, and for now, rock on.